Hi everyone, I'm Grace, and for this project I chose to analyze 3 films that were directed by Tyler Perry. From my past sociology courses, I've always found myself interested in the way media portrays minority groups, specifically African Americans. Over the past decades, there have been a significant change in media productions. However, one thing seems to remain the same, and that is the exaggerated representations of Black womanhood. During the slave era, 3 controlling stereotypes were fabricated around the way Black women behaved. Since then, these images are constantly present in the film industry. The first is known as the Mammy. She is the obedient, loyal, asexual domestic house servant who is older, dark-skinned, overweight, and is the motherly figure. Her wide stance, broad shoulders, and large arms take on a more masculine image. Overall, her physical depiction aids in establishing her as something less than a woman when compared to her cultural norms that define beauty. Next is the Jezebel. This stereotype originated from the sexual exploitation and victimization of African American women by the white slave owners. Today, she is depicted as immoral, an assertive woman who uses sex to exploit men's weaknesses and draws them in for money and other destructive reasons. She is very exotic looking, extremely attractive, light-skinned, and she is worldly seductive. She's very verbally promiscuous, and she's highly fertile. Overall, she thrives on attention from men who do not belong to her, and she is obsessed with status climbing. Lastly, the Sapphire originated as the violent, guarded, angry Black woman who is assertive, sharp-tongued, and offensive. She is very overbearing, and this causes her to drive men away, and she physically neglects her family. This image was made in order to, help improve the African American social position, but it was made more out to be a comedy, and she was criticized for acting white. Along with my code book, these are some of the characteristics that I looked for while analyzing the films. My code book I had some difficulties with it, and this kind of helped me, put it all together. My code book was constructed around these identities that would help me distinguish who was the Mammy, Jezebel, and Sapphire. I chose Tyler Perry films because he makes an attempt to heal these historical images of Black womanhood, but however, he uses humor as his outlet, and instead it kind of reinforces these historical images instead of revolutionizing them. I watched Diary of a Mad Black Woman, Medea's Family Reunion, and Medea Goes to Jail. My research question was basically, take these Black female characters and then measure them along the lines of these historical images of African American women and see how consistent the roles were. This is the first movie I watched, and here's a clip.
What the? Who are you?
Who you?
I'm the owner of this house.
Wrong answer. My granddaughter Helen is the owner of this house. You the hoe. You ain't got no power or no deed.
Did you do this? This is Vera Wang.
Who that is? She do nails? I need to get my nails did.
That's it. I'm calling the police.
I ain't scared no popo. Call the popo, hoe. Call the popo, hoe.
Charles, please. I don't have any money, and I knew that.
I tried to be nice to you, didn't I? Didn't I?
Just go.
You just go.
I'll just take it and I'll just go.
Oh, you say to no, huh? You gonna take my money and go?
If I call the police, they're gonna be here in 10 minutes.
Okay. Then that leave me 9 to beat the hell out of you.
You think? I know Taekwondo.
And I know whoop your ass. Come on, bring it on. You don't know about from the project. Come on. What the hell is your problem? Come on. Shut up. Oh, hell no.
Yeah, you keep running.
Charles, what? Now you asking me questions? You begging now?
Oh, please do it. Please hit her. Please, I want to see you do it. The hell's wrong with you? Hit her. You bastard, put your hands on
Oh
her.
my God, don't hurt him.
Oh, I'm not going to hurt him. I'm going to kill him putting his hand on my granddaughter.
I'm calling the police.
Yeah, you call the police so they can see how you done hit her.
No, just get out.
Charles, I have been nothing but a good woman and wife to you. I don't deserve this. You will reap what you sow. Keep your money.
You crazy.
So in this clip, you could see that Medea is clearly the mammy stereotype. Her physical appearance is just matches up with the characteristics of the mammy. You could tell that she's wearing her grandma-like dress. She's overweight, between the ages of 60 to 65. She's large-breasted. And then in regard to her actions, she is criminalized, yet remains respected by others because she is so nurturing and protective of her family and friends. Her advice is always coupled with violence, and no matter what state Medea may be in, she is always ready to put up a fight in order to end mistreatment. The sapphire in this movie is clearly Helen. As the story unfolds, she was kicked out by her husband after 18 years of marriage, and in revenge, she kind of sets out to attack him once he is shot and paralyzed, and she's forced to take care of him because his mistress ended up leaving him. I think the pivotal moment of this movie, well, her part was when she is talking to her new romantic lover that, says every man will have to pay for what Charles did to her, and she replies with, "I'm not bitter, I'm mad as hell." The Jezebel character in this movie is clearly Brenda. She is Charles's mistress, and when we're first introduced to her, we see 2 children. Later on, we find out that these boys were actually Charles's, and he admits that he's been with Brenda for more than half of his marriage. She has a slender body shape, is extremely attractive and very fair-skinned, and she's always clothed in, tight stuff, particularly short dresses and skirts. It's clear that she's sleeping with Charles for his money because when he is paralyzed, she basically tells the nurse to end his life, and but Helen has the say-so in that because she's still married to him, and as a result, when Charles is still suffering, Brenda wipes out his banking account and we never see her again. Next, I watched Medea's Family Reunion, and this is just a quote from the movie that I found interesting. Medea is obviously the mammy here again. She's also has some sapphire characteristics throughout the movie because she's so angry and she's willing to do anything to step on a man, I guess. She mocks her brother Joe throughout the movie also. The Jezebel in this movie is Victoria, and Victoria is the mother of Lisa and Vanessa, and basically she pimps out her daughters in order to rise higher in status and power, and basically promotes that they put up with abuse and sexual harassment and stuff. One line that threw me off was when Lisa was confessing to her mother that her fiance was hitting her, and Victoria replied with, "Well, you need to stop doing what you're doing to make him angry. Women sometimes have to deal with things to be comfortable." This is clear. It's pretty clear that she is, very cutthroat and the fact that she is willing to, end her relationship with her daughters in order to have access to a higher socioeconomic status just proves that she is this Jezebel image. Lastly, I watched Medea Goes to Jail.
Atlanta versus Washington.
Kennedy? I'm sorry, Your Honor. Seems that I know this defendant.
We are all searching for a better life.
Why you bail me out of jail?
Because you're a friend.
You ain't like the rest of us, Candy. If anybody can get out of here, you can.
And we are all on a journey.
I didn't raise no punk. You better go get that fool.
Between where we came from.
What are you doing with her?
I was just trying to help her out.
You've helped her enough.
And who we want to be.
What is wrong with you? Why do you feel the need that you gotta get somebody all the
In this movie, Medea is again the mammy figure. She's the mammy figure between all three movies. But she does, like I said before, portray some of the Sapphire characteristics also. Medea is further criminalized whenever she enters jail, but we do see her nurturing and caring side come out when she intervenes on Big Sal picking on Candace. Big Sal basically tells Medea that she runs the prison, and Medea responds by explaining that she is to be respected and is not afraid to get violent. The Jezebel in this movie was obviously Candace. She's a young prostitute that lives on the streets and indulges in sexual intercourse for money and drugs. She is a woman who accepts abusive behavior in order for her to get her needs. Her physical appearance she is constantly in short, tight dresses showing off her slender body shape. She believes that she is made out for this lifestyle. And for the Sapphire characters, I didn't pick out one specific one, but there were a lot of characters in the movies that did have some traits of a Sapphire. Overall, I did run into some complications with my coding book, but like I said, the figure with the characteristics really helped me out. I found it interesting that, each character did have somewhat of a Sapphire stereotype to some certain degree. I think in order to fix these historical images and revolutionize them, we need to stop looking at them as a joke and taking them more seriously and revealing the truth and hardship that they really did face. And that was basically it for my project. I hope you enjoyed.